Hello everyone, myself Ritik Roy. I'm an information security analyst of ISOEH. Today I will teach you what is a loop in Python. Deeply we are discuss why we are using loops, what is actual loop and types of loop, and some questions is there. So we are trying to solve those kinds of questions, and we are see that how to solve those questions, and uh, when we using those kinds of loop. Okay, so now I'm share my presentation. Okay, so what is a loop? In Python, a loop is a programming constructor that allow you to execute a block of code repeatedly. It's a functional fundamentals tool for automatic repetitive tasks. Basically, if you print 1 to 10, so just you type print and then 1 and again print, then 1, 2, 3, 4, right? But like if I'm say that you print thousands and you print 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, then say you cannot do this, right? So in loop you can create those kinds of things, right? Like if you want to print 1 to 10, then you can easily print this, right? Basically is a loop back code actually. And so when you use this code, then it continuously run one by one. Okay, in loops actually three types of loop is there. One is a while loop, for loop, and a nested loop. So what is a while loop, what is a for loop, and what is a nested loop? So basically, while loop in a Python, a while loop allow you to execute a block of code repeatedly as long as a specific conditions is true. It means that like if you have on conditions, and when this conditions is true, then the code is executed. Otherwise, the code not executed, right? So that why here I mentions that a block of code repeatedly as long as a specified conditions is true. If it's true, then it's run. If it's false, if conditions is false, then break these programs. Okay, and the syntax of while loop is like type while and then add the conditions. You can use many types of parameters is there, so you can use those parameters to create a conditions like less than, greater than, like less than equal to, greater than equal to. Okay, so if those conditions is true, then program will run. Otherwise it not run, it's break these programs, right? And here one increment decrement operator is there. Like here I mentions you count is equal to 0, and while count less than 5, then print this like count, and this increment like count plus equal to 1. It means that count equal to count plus 1. Basically this is a post increment. Another type of increment is there, that is a pre-increment. So pre-increments like post increments is I plus plus, pre-increment is plus plus I. Both are different, little bits of difference is there. So similarly, like increment is there, decrement also there. So if you decrement these count variables, so just type count minus equal to 1. It means is a minus 1, right? So if you have one variable, since variables is a number and number is equals to 1, and if you want to increment this, then just type number is equal to number plus 1 is a post increment, right? If you decrement this variable, then just type number and then number minus 1 is a decrement. So in a loop, we are use the increment and decrement. Also use the conditions. If conditions is true, then it's print and increment this variable, right? Again, it's going to the while loop and again check the condition, and again if conditions is true, then print number or count, again increment this count, again go to the while loop, again check this condition, and at these times if the conditions is false, then close this loop and break this program. So in a while loop, actually check the conditions. What is a for loop? Is a similar. While loop and for loop is a similar, but little bit of difference is there. Like in a for loop, if you have a range like 1 to 5, then it's executed, and also conditions is true, then it's executed, otherwise close this program. In a for loop, we are using the range and we are using the conditions also. Like here's one example is there. So like for I in range 5, it means that like your range is 1 to 5, then it's print I means like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in a for loop is a control flow statements for specifying actions. Is actually check the range, and here's also increment and decrements operators is there. In while loop, is check the condition. Here not mentions the actual range, but in for loop, range is there, and if range is or conditions is satisfied, is true, then print the variables or the value. Another types of loop is theirs, that is a nested loop. What is a nested loop? Like if you have one loop and you need to add another loop, then that is called the nested loops. One loop is there and another loop is there. So that is a nested loop. You can have loops inside other loops. This is a one loop, this is the other loops. So if you use two loops, then it's called the nested loops. So here actually we are using the while loop, and here one conditions is there, that is I less than 3. And here we are using the another loop, there is also while loop. You can use the for loop also. And here also conditions is there, like j less than is a 2. If two conditions is satisfied, then print I comma j. Otherwise it's not print. Otherwise close this program. So in a nested loop, actually check two two conditions. First check these conditions. Then if these conditions is satisfied or its results is true, then check this condition. And if this conditions is also true, then print I and j. So if I less than 3, this conditions is true but second conditions is false, then this is not print I and j variable. If first conditions is satisfied, it's true, conditions is true, second conditions is false, then this is not print. Similarly, if first conditions is false and second conditions is true, it's also close these programs. So basically, if two conditions is satisfied, then print I comma j. So in practical, actually, we have different kinds of softwares, like you use the PyCharm. If you have not the PyCharm, then you can use the online GDP compiler. Online GDP compiler. So here, this is a online compilers, and you can use these applications. Here language is there. There is a lot of languages there. So right now we need the Python 3. So Python 3. So in a for loop, three types of for loop there's, right? Is a while, for, and nested loop. How to write the for loop? Type while. Sorry, how to write the while loop? Just write while and then add the condition. Like I have here I mentions the one variables, and variable name is a number. And here that is a variable is a number, and variable's value is a 5. Here we are using the while loop, right? So that was type the while, and here add the condition. I mentioned that here number variable is equal to is 5. If number variable equal to 5, like this conditions is true, then print the number variable. Number is number. If I run this code, then it's continuously run, right? It's continuously right. That is a infinity loop. So if you create the infinity loop, your programs will be crashed, right? So that why I stop these programs, and here I'm using add the limit. Like here I'm add the number plus equal to 1. This is an increment, right? So if I run this program, then it's run one time. Why it's print one time? Reason is the number variables value is 5, right? And the compiler check the third number and says a while, it means is a loop, and compiler check the number variables is equals to 5 or not. Basically these conditions is true, right? So that wise compiler check this 4 number line and here print the number is number. It means the number is 5. And here we are at the increment operator, right? So that wise number is equals, this means that so is a number is equals to number plus 1. So is an increment operator. So that wise is increment the number variables value, right? So number variables value is 5. So right now the value is plus 5 plus 1. So the value is 6. Compiler again run while loop and then check the number is equals to 5 or not. Right now the number variables value is 6, right? Basically I'm increment this number values. So right now when compiler check numbers value is equal to 5 or not, and this conditions is false, so that wise close this program. So that wise number 5 print one time. If we remove this part and run this part, it's print all the time, right? Like this. Basically is a infinity loop. Why it's print lot of number is equals to 5? Why you print this? Compiler why print these lines? Reason is all times these conditions is satisfied, this conditions is true. So that wise 4 number lines is all time printed. If you want to create a virus using you can use this for this while loop, and you can add the files or folders. You can create the folders and create the virus very easily using this type of while loops, because is a not increment part is theirs and infinity loops is here created, right? So that wise you can create virus very easily. How to use the for loop? What is the syntax of for loop? In a for loop, actually the syntax is first add the for and then add the variable, then type a in, then type of range. Range is a function basically, and I is an item, and range is a functions basically. What is the functions? Actually in Python's a lot of functions is there, like print is a functions, range is a functions. So if you use the for loop, then you need to type the for and then add the item. Here item is 1, or you can say is a variable, and then type a in keyword and then add the range. So if I use this like for I in range and add the range is a 5, okay? And if you print this I value, then you can see it prints 0 to 4. It means that its range is 0 to 5 minus 1. In range functions, it start the 0, right? So here if you add the only 5, then is show 0 to 4 is a 5 minus 1. So that way is a 4. If you add the 1 comma 5 and if you run this program, then you can see is a 1 2 3 4. Start the 1, right? So if you want to print 1 to 10, then you can use 1 comma 11. And if you run this program, then it's print 1 to 10, right? So basically in range functions, here's actually range is there like 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 dot 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 11 minus 1, right? So that is a for loop. Okay, here I'm print 1 to 10. What is a nested loop and what is the syntax, how to use this? Like if you have the one value, one variable, and this is the I is equals to 0 while I less than is 3. If like I less than is 3 is true or false, is true. And so here j is equal to 0. J is a variable and its value is 0 while j less than 2. It's also, this condition is also satisfied, right? Then print I comma j, and here at the increment operator for j variables and I variable. And this is a nested loop. In a nested loop, you can use the for loop also. Like here's for I in range 1 to 11, and here mentioned the another for loop that is a for j in range is a 11 comma 21. If we print this 1 comma I comma j, then you can see, okay, so it's a syntax error. So just run this program, then you can see first is a 1 11 1 12. So first run this code, and here range is 1, so that was print a 1. Then complete this for loop. Here range is 1, so first print a 1, and compiler compile the second line, and here for j in range 11 to 21. So first one is 11, so 11 is print here, and again it's compiler compile the line 2, and again increment this variables like 11 plus 1 is a 12, so that wise print the 12. You can see here's 1 is there. So why? Because it's compilers first complete this for loops, then again upgrade this range value, and then add 1 plus 1 is a 2. So that wise when complete the 20 here, then it's upgraded, and here like is a 120. It means this for loop is completed, and then is increment this range. First is a 1, so add 1 plus 1 is a 2. So and then print again this loop. It means 2 comma 11, then increment this value 11 plus 1, so 2 plus 12. Again increment these variables, 12 plus 1 is a 13, so 2 comma 13. Okay, so that wise it prints 2 comma 13, 2 comma 16. When its value is 2 comma 20, then upgrades or add the variables or increment the values of this is a 2. So 2 plus 1 is a 3. So that wise here the 3 is there. And again run this program. So similarly, when is 10, its range is 10 and its value is 20, then break this program and close this program. So that is a 10 and next value is a 20. So this is also the nested loop. Here we are using the for loop for nested loop. Here is a simple questions is there. First one is write a program in Python to display the first 10 natural numbers. Expected output is 1 to 10. So here already completed. Like here, if you want to complete this question, so just use the for loop for I in range. Range is 1 to 11. Why 11? Because it's a 11 minus 1, right? So that was I'm type 11. Okay. And if I print this, print is I, then it's print 1 to 10 like this. If you want to use the while loop, then first mentions the variable and the variable is I and I is 1, okay, and I value is a 1. Then use the while loop. So what is the syntax of while loop? Just type while, then add the condition. So conditions is I less than equal to 10. If this condition is satisfied, then just print I. So right now the value of I is a 1, right? And compiler check the second line and check the condition. So right now the value is 1. So 1 less than equal to 10 is a true. So that wise is print the I value and I value is a 1. So print 1. Then you need to increment this variable. So that wise here I mentioned the increments is a post increment. So I plus equal to 1. If you run this program, then you can see 1 to 10 number is printed, right? First I value is 1. Then check the conditions is true because 1 less than equals to 10 is a true. Then print I value. So right now value of I is a 1. So print 1. Then increment this I variables value. So I value is a 1. So 1 plus 1 is a 2. Again, compiler compile the line number 2. Check the condition. I value right now is a 2. So 2 less than equal to 10 is also true. And print the I value is 2. So that wise is print 2. Again increment this. Increment I plus equals to 1. So I value is 2. 2 plus 1 is a 3. Again check this condition. It's also satisfied because I value is true. I value is 3. So 3 less than equal to 10. So that wise print the value of I and the value is 3. So that wise it's print 3. So here actually 1 to 10 we are printed using while loop. So what is the next question? Next question says write a C program Sorry, this is the right Python program. Okay, so the sum of the first natural numbers. So you need to print the first natural tens natural numbers. So here's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dot 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 10, and then just sum these values, right? So how to sum this value? If we are use the for loop, so just type for, and then the item is I or variables I, in is a keyword, and just type the range, and the range is 1 comma 11, and you need to sum this, right? Because here the first 10 numbers, 10 natural numbers sum. So 10 numbered sum. So that was we are need to one variables. Here mentions the one variable that is a sum. Like here I mentioned the sum 1. Sum 1 is equals to 0. And we know that the value of I is a 1, then increment, and then 2, right? So you also add this. How to add? Just type sum 1 equal to sum 1 plus the value. Value is a stored in I, right? So that way it mentions the I. And if just print this, just print this sum 1 and just run this program. You can see first sum is equals to 0. So in some variable stored the 0 value, right? For I in range 1 to 11. So here I first value is a 1, and compiler when compile the third number line, then check the sum 1 is equals to sum 1 plus I. It means that sum 1 value is a 0 and I value is a 1. So 0 plus 1 is a 1. So in a first step, 0 plus 1 it's equals to 1. Then just print it. Print the sum value. So that way it's print 1. When second times loops are calls, compiler compile this second line, then the I value is a 2, but the sum value is a 1, right? So that way sum value is a 1. Okay, so I value is a 2, sum value is a 1. So when compiler compile this third number line, then sum value is a 1 plus I value is a 2. So 2 and equal to is a 3. So that wise some when the fourth number line is compiled, then it's print the third number fourth sum values is a value is a 3 here. The value is a 3. So is a 3. So that way second time print 3. Right now the sum 1 is its a value is a 3. So its value is 3. And the I variables value is a also 3. Why? Say in a second time, so when loop is run, then the value is 2, and again this is a third number, and in third step the value is a increment. So 2 plus 1 is 8. So that I variables value is a 3. So if a compiler compile these third number lines, then you can see sum 1, its value is a 3, and the I variable's value is also 3. So 3 plus 3 is equals to 6. And so when fourth number line is compiled, so fourth number line is run, then it's print the sum 1 value, and the sum 1 value is a 6. So that wise is print the 6. Again, when the sum 1 is stored, the value, and the value is a 6, and in I variables, its value is change, is an increment. In a third number step, the I value is a 3, is a fourth number step. So that wise is increment the value, increment is a plus of 1. So 3 plus 1 is a 4. So I variable store the value is a 4, right? So when compiler compile these third lines, then you can see the sum 1 value is 4, is a 6, and in I variables store the value is 4. So if you calculate this, is a 10, right? And then is print the sum value, and the value of sum is 10. So that wise is print the 10. Again, compiler compile the second lines because its range is not completed right now. So again, compiler run this line number 2, but here some 1 variable's value is changed. The value is a 10, right? This value is a 10. So some 1 variable stored the value, and value is a 10, and that is basically fifth number step, right? So that wise first previous I value is a 4, and this is the increment, so 4 plus 1 is a 5. So in a 5th number step, I variable stored value the 5. And when compiler compile this, so similarly is a sum 1, and we know the sum 10, and it's plus the I, and in I variables I stored the value is 5, right? So type of 5, and if you calculate this is a 15, and here fourth number lines is print the value of sum. So in sum 1 right now the value is a 15, so it's printed. There is a 6th number round, and for loop changes for in a for loops I variables value is changed, is the increment, right? So is a 6 number step, so that wise the previous is a value is a 5, and then is the increment, so 5 plus 1 is a 6. So that wise I store the value 6, and sums is also changes, is the value is a 15. So I sum 1 value is a 15, and I value is a 6. When compiler run this, just type here sum 1, and we know the sum 1 is a 15, and plus I variable I value is a 6, so 6, and if you calculate this is a 21. So in a fourth number lines is print the 21, right? So here print the 21. Again compiler go to the for loops second line. When it compile, then is see that here I value is changes, is a 7th number round, so 7's I value is a 7, 6 plus 1 is a 7's right now. So sum 1 value is a 21, so is a changed, is a 21. And when third number line is compiled, then some 1 is value is changed to write like sum 1 value is 21, and The I variable's value is a 7. And if you calculate this, then the answer is a 28. So that wise here print the sum 1 and print the value and sum 1 value, and the value is 28. Again compiler compile the second line, and the sum 1 value is a 28, and I variables increment the value, and the value is a 7 plus 1 is a 8. And when compiler compile the third number line, then the value is sum 1 value is a 28, and I variable's value is a 8. If you calculate this, then it's a 36, and here is print the 36. Okay, so right now sum 1 value is a 36, is a ninth number round, so that was I value is a 8 plus 1 is a 9. And so when compile the third number line, so here at the sum 1 and sum 1 value is a 36, and plus, and so here at the I value is a 9, is a 8 plus 1 is a 9. And if you calculate, is a 45, and this print the 45. Right now sum 1 value is a 45, I value is a 10 number round, so is a 10. And here when third number line is compiled, then is see that so is a sum 1 value is a 45, and is a 10 number round, so that wise is 9 plus 1 is a 10. So here at the 10, and if you calculate this value, and this value is a 55, so that wise is a print the 55. Again compiler compile the second number line. Right now sum 1 is value is a 55, and so when compiler run these lines, then you can see the range is ended. Or if you add the 1, like 10 plus 1 is the 11, since range is not 11, range is 1 to 10, so these conditions is not satisfied, these conditions is false, so that wise we close this program. And this is a basically sum of 10 natural number. So basically here another question is there, like write a Python program that prints all the number from 0 to 6 expected except says 3 and 6. Okay, so just you need to ignore the 3 and 6 value. First of all, you need you need to print the 0 to 6. How to print this? You can use the for loop, you can also use the while loop. But here actually I have a range, right? So range is 0 to 5. So that wise we use the for loop, because if you have a range, then you can use the for loop. If you have not any kinds of range, if you have just conditions, then you can use the while loop. So here in these questions I have a range, and the range is 0 to 6. So here we are using the for loop. Just here type for loop, and here I'm print the 0 to 6 number. So just type for I is items or variables and in a keyword, and then type range, and the range is 0 to 7. Why 7? Because here mentions print 0 to 6. So that wise here mentions the 7, so because the 7 minus 1 is a 6. So just here type the print functions and add the print I. And if you run this, then is print 0 to 6. Here we need to remove the 3 and 6. What can I do? Here just type if the value of I is equals to 3, then here just type the continue. And again just type if the value of i's value is equals to 6, then again just type continue. So if just run this program, then you can see here 3 and 6 is not here right now, right? So what is the meaning of continue? Like here, first of all, so we print the 0 to 6, right? And then we check if I variable's value is 3, then is continue. Like run again, compile first line. Okay. And again check if the number, the variables of I, the value is a 6, then again continue. This means that the compiler again compile the first line. So here if you run this, then compiler first of all run the 1. The I variable's value is a 1. And here second line just compiler check the I is equals to 3 or not. So right now I value is 1, right? So that wise these conditions is false. So compiler don't run this code. Again compiler check in a 4th number lines, here is another conditions, and conditions is I is equals to 6, right? But right now I value is a 1, and these conditions is also false. Here I value is not equal to 6. These conditions is false. So that wise these conditions is false. So continue statements is not work, and just print the number is I. The print is I variable since the value is a 1. So that wise print the 0. Okay, sorry, first one is a 0. So first I value is a 0 because where start the 0. So that wise is value is a 0. Then just print the 0 variables, right? So again, then increment part is there, and so increments the value. So I value is a 0. So just increments. So 0 plus 1 is a 1. So right now I value is a 1. Then again check I is equals to 3 or not. Right now the value is a I, so that wise is a false. Again check I value is a equal to 6 or not. It's also false because the value is a 1. And in a 6 number line print the I value, and the value is a 1, so that wise is print 1. Again increment this value, and the value is 1 plus 1 is a 2. And again check if the value is I value variables I value is equals to 3 or not, is also false. And I value is not on 6, so that wise is false. And just print the value of I. So I value I variables, the value is a 2, so that wise is print 2. Again check again increment these variables, and the variables increments, and the variables is 2 plus 1 is a 3. Right now, number 2 lines, when compiler compile this line number 2, then check its I value is equals to 3 or not. Is 3. So this conditions is true, right? So that wise the compiler compile the second line is a continuous statements is there, right? So that wise is going to the first line. Compiler again increment this and run the first line. So when we run the first line, then the value is incremented, right? So that was the value is a 3 plus 1 and this is a 4. Again check I value is false. Again checks I value is equals to 6. These conditions is also false, and now in 6 number lines is print the I value. So that was is print I's variable value. Then again compiler run the range 0 comma 7s, and so the value is a 4 comma 4 and is increment, so 4 plus 1 is a 5. Again check it's false, this condition is also false, and print I. This means that print 5. Again this increments is theirs, so 5 plus 1 is a 6, and so again check this conditions is false, but in fourth number line this conditions is true, right? Because right now I value is equals to 6. And here's the continuous statements is there, so compiler again compile the first line. And again the value is a increments, and the value is a 6 plus 1 is a 7. But right now this conditions is not satisfied, because here's range is 0 to 7 minus 1 0 to 6, because here I value is 7. So that wise is not satisfied this conditions, and just close this program. So that wise we print here, print the 0 1 2 3 or 1 2 4 and 5. Here another questions is there, like write a Python program to count the number of events and odd numbers in a series of numbers. Like if I have a 1 to 9, and check if this like 1, this value is even or odd. If the modulus of 2 and is value is equals to 0, then is an odd number, otherwise is an even, right? So first of all, so we need to print this 1 to 9. So here range is there, so that wise we are using the for loop, right? So here the loop is 1 to 10, so 1 to 9. So here I mentions the 1 comma 10 because we need the 9. So 10 minus 1 is a 9. If we print this, print value of I and just run this, then it's print 1 to 9. Okay, so the question says check every numbers, every value, and if its value is even or odd, just here increment the value. Like 1 is a 1 is an even number, right? So even number is a 1. Again 2 is an even number. 2 is an odd number, right? So odd numbers, number of odd numbers is a 1, because 2 is a 1. Okay, and then again 3 is an even number, so that wise first is 1, 1 plus 1 is a 2. So here just count the odd number and count the even number. So what can I do? Like here just type odd number and is a value is a 0. Here also type the even is a even, and just type even number, and says value is a 0. Okay. Then just check if the I modulus of 2 is equals to 0, then 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 is a odd number, right? So just increment the odd number, like here odd number equals to plus equals to 1. Here mention the else part, so just type else, and in else part just add the even plus equals to 1. If you run this, okay, just here print the odd number, just comma odd number, and again printf is a even. So this is a 4 and 5. The odd number here print increment 1 by 1, and here the even numbers increments 1 by 1, and see the odd numbers here the mentions the odd number is a 4. 4 times on what number is counted, and so the even numbers is 5. Because here if you check like this, 1 is a even number, 3 is a even number, 5 is a even number, 7 is a even number, and 9 is a even number. So total number is a 5, right? If you check the odd number, so 2 is a odd number, 4 is a odd number, 6 odd number, 8 is a odd number. So 4 times is there, right? So that wise is a 4. So thank you everyone. I think you like this video. Thank you.